oracle card reading, and I think that because it has been so long since I've done a reading, I'm thinking that I'm going to do two. Um, yeah, I'm gonna do two. Okay, so I had to take a second because I was trying to decide what I was gonna do. Since I decided I was gonna do two, and I'm thinking that I'm just gonna pull a couple cards. Since it's Thursday now, this week is almost over. So I think I'm just going to pull a couple cards just to kind of represent where you are right now, the energy that's prominent right now, and how we can move forward with this energy throughout the remainder of the week. So this is what came out. Energy that's prominent this week. And then how to move forward in this energy. Okay, so as far as the energy that is prominent, sharing of yourself. I made a post, it was either at the beginning of this week or maybe the end of last week, I don't really recall. But I posted something about being vulnerable. And what I'm getting from this is that you may have either been challenged or given the opportunities to show up in spaces or with people as your authentic, unique self, and dealing with the discomfort that comes with that idea, or dealing with the consequences or the consequences or the fallout of not showing up as your unique, authentic self, and having to bear the weight of that. And then also you may have received some glimpses or some intuitive insight about what could happen should you decide to be more vulnerable and to be more authentic and who you are, what you want to see in the world, how you being your unique self can facilitate the things that you want to see in the world, or in your community, in your job, in your family, whatever. How you have been masking that and how taking that mask off can then facilitate abundance and change around you. So that is the energy that's been present. For the cards that came out about how to move forward, this, I always get this as solitude and finding peace in solitude. And I think that when you are trying to recognize who you are, you really have to quiet the noise. You really have to shut out everything else and spend some time by yourself so that you can really understand for yourself who you are. Because with all the noise, like society is telling you who you should be, your family's values or the values of the people that are close to you that you care about may shape your sense of self in a way that's not wholly true. So it's important that you kind of cut out all of the noise, all of the distractions, take some time away so that you can get clear on who you are, what you want, how you can use the truth of who you are to bring about what you want. And the only way to really get that clarity and that understanding, that deep understanding, not just based on an identity that you've assumed and you just kind of stay with it. like, like, okay, cool. I guess I'm whatever. I'm going to just stick with it. This is the role that I've kind of taken amongst my friend group. I'm going to just stick with it. This is the role that I've always played in my workspaces. I'm going to just roll with it. So this is about, take these out. Okay. I received these two cards as like taking the time away to really go deep within yourself to get your own truth so that you can share that and walk in that and be true to that. And also that we all want to be seen. We all want to be recognized. We all want to be valued. We all want to be validated. Those are normal needs. Those are normal desires, right? But a lot of times we may look at other people and feel like they're not meeting our expectations or they're not meeting our needs in the way that we need them to be met. And the truth about that is, like, if you do not show people who you are, they can't meet you and meet your needs adequately if they don't really know who you are and what you need. And there's no way for you to communicate who you are and what you need if you don't take the time to figure it out for yourself. Taking the time to figure that out for yourself is what's gonna make it possible for other people to see you and meet your needs. And then you have to be willing to do that. It's not always comfortable, but you have to trust that God will, and I said this in the post, by the way, you have to trust that God will provide you with the space and the opportunities to have your needs met adequately and in a safe space that's not traumatic or that's not violent or that's not oppressive or that's not marginalizing. It's not exploitive. It's not going to end poorly for you. Once you open up and you submit to the idea that, okay, in order for me to be seen, I have to make myself available. I can't expect people to keep trying to peek in this cave and dig in these pits and figure out who I am and then do the labor of meeting my needs or respecting the true version of me. I can just figure that out. I can present that to people and then be open to allowing them to give me what I need. Or I can be open to allowing the world and my community and the spaces that I'm in to respect and honor the gifts that I'm coming with, because I am open and vulnerable enough to present them. Okay? So that is the very brief reading, just kind of recapping some energy that's been present this week and how you move forward. So I'm going to move on for a weekly reading for the upcoming week. Let me get the date because y'all know I'm not good with dates. So this next reading will be for the week of, what is this, September? September 22nd. Okay. So this reading will be the same format as the original weekly reading. I'll go over a challenge for the week, energy to embrace, energy to avoid, and an overall positive message. I may or may not use this for the overall positive message. I haven't quite decided, but we will go from there. Okay. So, first card I'm going to look for is to represent a challenge for the week starting Sunday, September 22nd. I don't know why I keep wanting to say November. I'm struggling. I know that it is September. For some reason, my mind keeps trying to say November. So, I'm always of the belief that anything that occurs while you are engaged in a reading space is relevant in some way. So, just make note of that. I keep trying to say November. I don't know why. Okay. So, challenge for the week. So next is energy to embrace while navigating this challenge. Okay. So a bunch of cards came out. One of my favorites. I'm going to tell y'all right now, just based on the cards that are out currently, I feel like this is going to be a huge shift. Something that's very prominent, something that's very important and almost unavoidable. So keep that in mind. Okay. Energy to avoid. Okay. Energy to avoid. And let me say this before I hold these up. I read these cards a little bit differently. These are tarot cards. I read these a little bit differently than I read the regular oracle cards. I'm going to just say that before I show these. Energy to avoid. Shit. Okay. Okay, I had to organize my stuff a little bit. Next is, let's stick with these. And then I will do the overall positive message with another deck. So, the challenge for the week. I am reading this as, look at the, first off, look at the wings. Just look at the wings. And look at the coloring of her dress in comparison with the coloring here. Listen, I told y'all, whatever, however this energy, because this is going to be very broad, right? Like, it's for a lot of people, so I can only talk about so much. However this energy manifests for you is going to be important. It's going to be a big deal. So, the way I'm reading these is as, like, the challenge is something that you don't fully want to face, but you're going to have to. It's something that is really going to transform your life and the way that you understand yourself, the way that you understand people, the way you understand yourself in relation to people. And you're going to be shedding a lot of old beliefs that you had, a lot of old understandings that you had. You're going to have to drop a lot of that. You're going to have, in a healthy way, not just repress it or suppress it, but you're really going to have to interrogate it and figure out what the lesson is and leave all the other mess behind. And the good news is that you're not alone in doing that work. Like how these colors are like embodied in her dress, but there's so much more here. You have so much support and so much energy that is kind of carrying you through this, that while you feel like you're going through the fire, and in some instances you probably will be, you have support in that journey. And this kind of goes into the energy to embrace also, but the support that you have, kind of similar to the reading that I just did about how to move forward in the energy that's present this week. It's going to require a lot of inner work and alone time. It's really going to require you to go into the depths of yourself and really embrace your intuition. These three together are strong intuition energy. Strong intuition energy. Strong feminine. Not feminine as in female, but just the feminine energy that is present in being intuitive, and that is present in being attuned to your emotional state and tending to your emotional state with care and with intention and with compassion, and not shunning that, because that's what you need to really move through this transformation that's coming. You really need to be aware of what emotions are present and why, and not be afraid to really go into the depths of yourself and explore it and process it, and make sure that you're processing it with your soul's eye. Because this is something that I talk about. This is something I tell my kids. This is something I had to tell myself. This is something that I tell my clients that get readings from me. This is also something that I kind of sprinkle on, a little less heavy, but I sprinkle on to the kids that I see for therapy, right? Your body is a vessel. And it's so important to understand that, and this kind of goes into energy to avoid also, but I'll talk about it when I get there. So it's so important to understand that your body as the vessel encompasses your emotions. It encompasses your thoughts. And all of those things are connected. And when you allow your thoughts and your emotions to control what you do, you then identify yourself as one with your thoughts and with your emotions. And you have to constantly remind yourself that you, the essence of who you are on a soul level, on a spirit level, is not the same as your emotions. You are not your emotions. Your emotions are a tool. Your emotions are guidance. Your emotions help you to sort through things. Your emotions help you to recognize whether what's going on feels good or whether what's going on feels bad. And then from there, you got to figure out why. Does it feel good because this is good for me, or does it feel good because I am avoiding pain? I am avoiding accountability because I am avoiding something that I have deemed dangerous, but it's something that I need to do, and it's something that I need to go through, and that's why it feels good to me. Or on the flip side, does it feel bad because it is actually harmful to me, or does it feel bad because it reminds me of this other situation that was harmful to me, even though in this particular situation I'm not, and there's no threat to me. So understanding that you are not your emotions, and you do not have to identify with them. You use them as a tool. You use them as a compass. And you evaluate what the emotion is and why it's there from a soul space. and then allow yourself to move forward accordingly. Your emotions can then inform your behavior. And on the flip side, you're also not, your thoughts do not represent this. Oh my God, this ties in so much to the reading I just did. Your thoughts do not represent you and your essence on a soul level, on a spirit level. The essence of who you are is not the same as the thoughts that occur in your mind. And when you allow the thoughts that are in your mind to kind of run off crazy, it's very easy to perceive the self as the mind. And it's so important to understand that the self, the soul self, the spirit self, the essence of who you are is not the same as your mind. And your soul self has the capability of controlling your mind, controlling your thoughts. Like when you tell yourself to think happy thoughts, when you tell yourself you're not going to think about something, when you are able to catch your mind thinking down a certain train of thought that you have deemed unhelpful or problematic, and then you decide to switch it to another train of thought. That is your essence self controlling your mind. You are not your mind. Your mind does not control you. Sometimes the soul self can be so identified with the man that it submits to the man, in which case your mind feels like it's the leader. But in reality, your mind is not the leader. The soul is the leader. Your soul self is the true leader of this. Just like how the fire hair is encompassed in the dress, this is big energy. And when not control can be destructive. When not controlled can be overpowering. But when it's being used by the soul self, by the spirit self, by the essence of who you are, it can be used strategically, just like your emotions can. Your emotions can be used strategically if you don't let them run wild and dictate your life and dictate the moves that you make. Instead, if you take the time to interrogate your emotions and use them as the tool that they are. Use your thoughts as the tool that they are. And then allow yourself to submit to what is being revealed to you when you do that. As you're doing that work, you have to submit to what is being shown to you and move accordingly. If there's something that you need to stop doing, if there's something that has been harmful to you in the past, if there are things that have hurt you and you are holding yourself back by holding on to those things, it's time to heal it. And you can't heal it by repressing it. And in therapy, we talk a lot about coping skills, building up your coping skills, and that is important to have, because when you're facing these things that have been harmful to you in the past, traumatic, violent, distressing in the past, you have to build up your capacity to be able to tolerate that. And then the more that you're able to tolerate it, the more you can control your mind, and the more you can be intentional about the way you move through it, or you transmute it, or you process it. So coping skills are necessary in a sense that they help you build up your tolerance to things that are uncomfortable, to things that have been damaging at one point in the past and have the potential to be damaging in the future. But the purpose of coping skills is not to forever avoid the discomfort that is present when you address that thing that has hurt you. Be it a breakup, it could be a very traumatic experience that has occurred, it could be friendships falling apart, It could be when you got fired from a job, or you lost a job and then you lost a home, and then your kids had to go live with somebody else and your life just spiraled out of control. And the coping skill can be something that is healthy. Your coping skill could be coloring, could be writing in a journal, could be listening to music, could be dancing. Those are healthy coping skills. It could be unhealthy. Drinking, smoking, fucking, fighting. Things that are detrimental, things that don't help you to kind of move forward. But regardless, the purpose of the coping skill is not for you to stay stagnant. The purpose of your coping skills, and this is why some are destructive, because they keep you stagnant. A positive coping skill is something that builds up your tolerance to be able to withstand the discomfort that comes with processing and transmuting whatever the painful experience was. Harmful coping skills that God is showing to you right now are harmful. Keep you stagnant, and they keep you from being able to tolerate it. You need more of it to be able, you need more of negative coping skills to be able to function. It deteriorates how you're showing up in the world versus positive coping skills that then build your capability to show up in the world, and then your ability to process whatever pain you're coping from or discomfort that you're coping from. So you have to make sure that you are employing your coping strategies in the right way for the purpose that they actually serve. And the purpose is not for you to be able to just show up. The purpose is always to grow and to thrive. And if there is something that is holding you back from growing and thriving, it's time to let it go. And once that is revealed to you, you have to show yourself some compassion. And you have to understand that this is cliche, but you did the best with what you had and what you knew at the time. And now that you know better, now that you understand things differently and on a deeper level, you're ready to move forward. And it's okay that the choices that you made in the past, you're not bound to them. You're not bound to them. You're not bound to identifying with them. You're not bound to carrying that narrative with you. It's okay to drop that baggage off. It's okay to recognize that the thing that you wanted or the thing that you clung to at one point in time, it served a purpose and it is no longer needed. It no longer fits in the spaces that you're going to. And have some compassion with yourself as you submit to the flow of things by allowing the narrative or the negative coping strategy or the person or the job or the scenario, whatever it is, leave. Let it go. Have some compassion for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to keep these out because I'm going to have to take pictures of them, but I'm going to use another new deck, ta-da, full of treats today. Going to use another new deck for the overall positive message. This is long. Alright, let me shuffle this real quick. Shuffle this real quick or whatever. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like I watch some other readers primarily because I'm learning the tarot. Like those, never mind, I'll save that. But as I'm learning the tarot and I watch other readers and I watch them do their readings, and one of the things that really irks me is when cards is bent up crazy. Like, it's one thing if they're just like worn because they've been used. Wear and tear is one thing. But when they're bent up crazy, like, why is your cards bent up, bruh? Take care of your things. Be a steward of your tools. My God. What came out for the overall positive message? We got a 5 and a 6. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And y'all see that? So for me, I'm going to read what it says in the book because I found that a lot of times there are certain things that are in the book and it kind of hits differently when you hear it. But what I get from this is, again, it's time to disengage, take some time to yourself, rest in a place that's safe, and allow yourself to be renewed. Because what sleep does is, like, your body needs to sleep. Your body needs rest to renew itself, to recharge itself, and to be ready for the next day, the next task. Your body, there needs to be a time where your body shuts down before it moves forward. And that's the same for your spiritual self. That's the same for your emotional self. There have to be times where you decrease your output, and allow yourself to be renewed, and trust that God will provide you with the safe space to do that. All right, let me read what it says. Obviously, I can't count. Okay. Time for a nap. Essential meanings: rest, rejuvenation, and renewal. Temporary non-action. Allowing dreams to arise. What I said. I never pulled this card before for myself, mind you, so there's that. The Oracle's message: this is a time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. What I told you about the mind running wild and the inner not controlling it. What I said. All right, where was I? Be willing to let dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement. So that goes back to this, right? Being able to quiet your mind so that the inner guidance and support can arise. Being able to get your mind and rein it in. And the way that you can practice that is through meditation. So, what's next? No place like home. Okay, no place like home. Authenticity. Coming home to yourself, feeling at home, arriving at a place where you just fit, being comfortable in your own skin. Can't make this stuff up. Home feels safe and secure. It's a comfortable place to rest and create, a place that is known and you can call yours. This card signals, hold on, I gotta turn the page. This card signals that your ability to trust yourself and feel at home in your own skin is beginning to solidify as you claim your dignity and integrity. Aspects of yourself no one can take away from you. You know who you are. You hold your head high, yet with neither pride nor humility. Instead, you stand as the observer, seeing through the eyes of your soul. What did I say? This puts you in a position of power and strength. Authenticity is your home. You are safe here in the house of your spirit and spirit, as in God. Man, listen. What I said. What I said. So that will be the reading for the rest of this week. And going through September 22nd. Thank you for watching. I will post the overviews when I get a chance to. God bless y'all. Have a great week. And as always, get a therapist.